Hello everyone, here it is, my Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope review. And as many of you know, I absolutely loved A New Hope. It is probably my second favorite Star Wars movie. And probably later you'll figure out what my first is. I don't think I've done a review of it yet. And it has some really good world building, great characters that you can feel for until the origins that just sets up this huge character arc. Now let's talk about the music. Oh, I love the music of this movie. It's so iconic. It's so good. It tells its own story on its own. This soundtrack also has some really serious good world building music, like just the Tatooine themes, in particular the Dune Sea, the Moisture Farm, which perfectly blends it with all these iconic songs that I love, such as The Binary Sunset, Imperial Attack, and I love Williams' style. Usually, I seem to like a leitmotif where basically there is world building cues for like the world and for the characters. Usually in some soundtracks or most soundtracks I get one of those. I usually get character building cues or leitmotifs rather than world building leitmotifs. Here we get them both, and Williams geniusly combines them both, and it literally tells its own story. It is great. I love the soundtrack. There's an underrated track in my opinion that I find that most people should. I really like it. It's like a minor version of the Rebel fanfare. It goes something like. Have you ever heard of that? Instead of I absolutely love the cue. I love how Williams does these little tidbits like that, because basically a minor theme would play. I mean, that minor theme in particular sounds, let's just say, less joyful and hopeful than the. So Williams geniusly is able to put these cues in different ways to make it tell its own story, which has some really iconic cues. I love Princess Leia's theme. Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. And I just don't know how he did it exactly. I find that everything here has its own cue. I love the Imperial or the Death Star cue. You know which one I'm talking about. It's like 4 notes, I think. But I'm just to avoid copyright, instead I'll just send you a link to it. So Williams geniusly crafts these themes in different variations for different parts of the soundtrack, as well as giving new material in a different cue throughout each song. And he crafted its own universe that just feels like Star Wars. You could recognize it's Star Wars. I don't know how he did it. It's something that we haven't had before. I love the music. I love some of the alternative music that they actually have in this soundtrack. This music fits with the movie perfectly. There's some really catchy cues. This is one of those movies where you can hear the lines of dialogue when you listen to the soundtrack. Again, I don't know if that's because I've seen this movie before or because it fits in with the movie, but I think it's because it fits into the movie. So overall, I absolutely loved this soundtrack. That's some really iconic themes. Williams geniusly incorporates variations or different leitmotifs that lets you know what's happening, as well as using his own cues for different songs. And of course, I'll give Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope soundtrack a 10 out of 10. There's a song, I mean, it sounds good, but it's like a long song. It's like an alternative to Binary Sunset. It sounds great, but there's like this person in the song who's like, take 18, and then the Star Wars theme plays and the Blockade Runner theme plays. I was confused, and then after it was like, take 19, and it plays again. I was like, what? It's just that. I don't expect that to happen in a soundtrack. But if they remove the person saying take 18 or take 19, it would definitely get a 10 out of 10. Remember, that's just my opinion. My opinion isn't the right opinion. Please click like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Thanks. Bye. See you later.